Hi there, Joey McGirr here, and I want to talk to you today about social media in 4D. It might be a little bit of a strange concept for you, but stick with me and I'll walk you right through it. So, what is fourth dimension? Fourth dimension is a blending of space time, and a good representation of that is the light cycle from Tron and that beam of light that exists behind it, showing you where it's been and sort of giving you a representation of its path. So, what is social media in 4D? My perspective or my definition is that social media is a verb, and a lot of people see it as a noun. They see it as a thing, like a dot com. A dot com is a noun. It sort of sits there. It doesn't really interact. It doesn't engage. It doesn't conversate. It doesn't build community. But if you use it, a website like a verb, if you put it into action, you can really do a lot with it, a lot more than you can with just say a static website that is a noun. So to use the example from Back to the Future, when they go back in time and all the Marty lands in his his own mother's home and she falls in love with him and Doc Brown says, Marty, you're not thinking about this fourth dimensionally. He's got to realize that the right actions in the moment really make a big difference down the road. And that's really what I'm trying to illustrate here about social media in 4D is the right actions that you take today can really have tremendous impacts down the road. And so you've got to have a 4D perspective. And once you have a 4D perspective, you really need a vehicle, and that is your online social networking sites like Facebook. And so, of course, we're not going to be really traveling through time, but I just really want to give you guys some illustrations of how to be effective with this perspective. So starting today, you want to start to build. You want to start to build your community. You want to start building your skill set. You want to start building the habits that it takes to be able to create the community that you want for your businesses on social media. You might say to yourself, well, I don't really know how to use this. Let me read a few books. Let me take a few classes. And a year might go by. And in a year from now, you still have to learn. You still have to get on there and develop the skills and the habits to be able to use these tools correctly. So you might as well just get on there and start today. Just start building. So Facebook, is a universe of data and people and connections and networks and communities. So get on there right away and just get started connecting to that universe. 750 million people on Facebook today. If you were to go back to the beginning, if you watch that movie, The Social Network, it illustrates the beginning of Facebook, and the movie ends when they hit 1 million users, and now they're at 750 million users. So there's a 4D perspective for you. Imagine if you had a time machine to go back and get started with Facebook from the very beginning, right? Twitter, 200 million users, one of the greatest social networks. In my opinion, I have met more people and done business and had more fun connecting to people on Twitter. And I honestly think there's about a year learning curve for the average person. The average person, you got to get on there and you got to learn the lexicon. You got to learn how hashtags work. You got to learn how to communicate with people. You got to learn the etiquette. And it's not something you can really take a class to learn. You've got to get on there and you've just got to be using it. You got to turn it into a verb. What I think is the number one secret weapon for online savvy social networkers today is mobile apps. Use your phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone, to download certain social networks. There's dozens of them out there. Just start playing with them. Use them. Access them. Connect your friends to them and talk to your friends on there and connect to your friends' network. It's very, very powerful. You can't imagine. And the best part about a social network that's mobile is it works with where you are in the moment. Foursquare and Facebook Places, Meetup.com, Scavenger. These are all about where you are right then and there. It's not about everything that's going on the internet. It's literally about the stuff that's going on down the street and right at the space that you're at that moment. So I want to take a moment to show you a real life 4D example and how this is applied recently for a particular business here in the Austin, Texas area. This is a local HVAC company, Blue Air Austin, and if you know anything about heating and air conditioning, you know that the people that do the services and the installs of these types of equipment, they don't have a large service area. They don't cover all of Texas. They actually cover just a very small part of North Austin, and so they have a very narrow network that they can work from. And so you might think, why would they even be using social networks? Wouldn't that kind of be a waste of time. Wouldn't they be talking to people in New York or Seattle? But it's been actually very effective. And let me show you how. This is an insight that Facebook gives us from their fan page. And you might see down here that they hired me back around the 1st of May, and almost immediately within a week I was able to get them to 100 active monthly users, and it grew and it grew, and it kind of hovered between 100 to 150 for a few months until we hit a spike. And what's interesting to note about this is that May 1st they had 5 fans. They had 5 fans when I took over the page. I didn't create this myself. In fact, I'll show you the kind of activity that they were able to produce in the first 4 months of the year before hiring me is pretty pathetic. They weren't using it like a verb. They were using it like a noun. They had created a fan page and they were not supplying any kind of information, let alone dynamic and insightful content. And as you could see, there was a bit of a jump there in August, early August, late July. They were able to get over 200 active monthly users because this is summertime. This is their peak period, and they were able to find the magic code to be able to tap into a whole new market. And you could see the kind of exponential and explosive growth that can have. Just since the beginning of May, you could see that they've had almost 23,000 post views, and that comes from all over the internet. Those post views don't come from those 195 fans. They come from every time one of those 195 fans are engaging with the page, it's broadcast out to their network, and the people in that network consist of that 23,000 post views. So 195 likes, as you can see, as of August 20th, 222 monthly active users. So more people actively engaging their fan page on a monthly basis than they even actually have fans, which is pretty remarkable. Here's a contrasting example from a short-term project that I worked on with the American Lung Association from January through middle of May. They had an event that they wanted me to promote via social networks, so I got out there and I was able to garner them over 400 monthly active users, even though we only got 227 likes or fans. Look at how it dies off at the end, and the fact that there's just zero activity. They're still able to get some active viewers, people popping in from time to time to see what's going on. So I wanted to just kind of show you what happens when you treat it like a noun. Even after a period of time that you've treated it like a verb, it goes back to being stagnant, not really doing a whole lot for you. This is an example from Blue Air's Twitter account. I went and followed some people in the local area that I knew were active on Twitter, and this gentleman, Joey Two Wheels, Mr. Joey Doyle, and saw that we were following him, went and checked out the Google ratings on Blue Air, saw that they were solid, and said that he'd been thinking about a checkup, and we were able to get business off of that. And that's pretty outstanding. But if we had just created the Twitter account and I had not actually gone and followed Mr. Doyle, that wouldn't have happened, and they wouldn't have been able to capture that kind of business. And from Joey's perspective, he was thinking about it. He needed it, and all of a sudden here it comes, and they're able to work together to solve Joey's problem of getting a checkup and be able to provide Blue Air with some new business. So this is a snapshot of the last month of Blue Air's activity, and that peak there. One of the things I really want you to look at is the new likes in the last 30 days. 119 new likes, all from that one event where we were able to find the magic code and to plug into a particular, it was actually a post from the newspaper on conserving energy, and we were able to get in there and say Blue Air will help you figure out a way to conserve your energy by setting the dials on your air conditioner to help you be able to do that. And they're really connected with people, and they were able to get 111 likes just on that one post alone. So you can see that's pretty remarkable. And so that's it. Now that you've got a new 4D perspective, it's time to go out there and to treat your social networking like a verb, and to realize that like Blue Air, who started out with 5 fans at the beginning of the summer, are currently pushing at 200. Next summer, when their season hits again, they're going to have 200 or more fans as a plateau to start from, which will be that much more exponentially valuable for their business. So yeah, that's it. My name is Joey McGirr. You're welcome to contact me either on Facebook or Twitter or at joeymcgirr.com. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Have a great day.